Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to welcome you to our regular meeting of February 3rd. This is our first meeting of the month. We will first call the meeting to order, and we'll stand for a pledge of allegiance, followed by invocation from Alderman Vaughn, and then a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Alderman Vaughn, if you would, please.
The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pasture. He leads me beside the still water. The most holy, all wise, all knowing, all powerful, all seeing, hearing, understanding God. God has always, a few your handmaid servants, this mayor and this board and this vice mayor, that you allowed your angels to watch over us all day long as we have gone out to our daily occupation and daily routines. Now, Father God, it's time for us to get out to business. We pray that you will embrace us, Father God, with the task that we have before us. And Lord, it's just to please the peoples in the city of Starkville. God, we pray, God, that you will bless us and be mindful and kind to all those, especially some of those that are less fortunate than we are. Father God, because you said in your word that poor will always be with us always, the poor in property, the poor in spirit. And Father, let us be reminded what all you have allowed us to achieve during last term and this term. And Lord, let us be mindful of those, Lord, that say, have mercy on me. Have mercy on me. Father God, is in the mighty name of Jesus, I pray and look to you for knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, how to lead and guide these your peoples. Lord, is in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you again. We appreciate everybody braving the dreary night and the construction to make it here to us. So we do appreciate your joining us. Our first order of business will be the approval of the official agenda with consented items. Do we have any changes? Alderman Moreland.
No, ma'am.
Alderman Sistrunk.
No, ma'am, thank you.
Alderman Skinner.
No, ma'am.
Alderman Brooks.
No, matter, thank you.
Alderman Poca.
No, ma'am, thank you.
Vice Mayor.
No, ma'am, thank you.
Alderman Vaughn.
No, ma'am. Thank you, Mayor.
All right, with that, I do need a motion to approve the official agenda with the consented items.
Move approval.
I have a motion from Alderman Poca. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Alderman Vaughn. Thank you so much. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries unanimously, and I will read the consented agenda items. First is consideration of the minutes of the January 16, 2026 work session of the Mayor and Board of Aldermen of the City of Starkville. We have consideration of the minutes of the January 20, 2026 recess meeting of the Mayor and Board of Aldermen of the City of Starkville. Under Mayor's business, we have consideration and approval of an interlocal agreement between the City of Starkville, organized and existing under the laws of the state of Mississippi, the city, and Oktibbeha County, Mississippi, a political subdivision of the state of Mississippi, the county, pursuant to the Mississippi Interlocal Cooperation Act, Section 17-13-1 et sec, Mississippi Code 1972, as amended, the Interlocal Act on this date set forth hereinafter for Starkville Sand Creek TIF Fund. B is consideration of clarifying the price and terms of OpenGov permitting and licensing software to $66,907.42 in fiscal year 26 and $70,252.77 in fiscal year 27, resulting in an increase of $8,522.92 in fiscal year 26 and $11,868.27 in fiscal year 27. Your consideration of adopting a procurement policy for the City of Starkville. Under Human Resources, we have request authorization to hire N. J. Henderson as aircraft lineman, FBO, part-time in the Starkville Airport Department. Item 2 is request authorization of the transfer of Alexis Walker, dispatcher, part-time to the position of dispatcher, full-time in the Starkville Police Department. 3 is request authorization to hire Sarah Dover to the position of dispatcher, part-time in the Starkville Police Department. Number 4 is consideration of the disciplinary action recommended by Environmental Services and Sanitation Director Chris Smiley for a Starkville sanitation commercial driver as a result of IA number 0203-2026. Number 5 is request authorization to appoint Brad Davis as an interim lead lineman foreman in the Starkville Utilities Department. 6 is authorization of the transfer of David Kelly, firefighter non-certified temporary, to the position of firefighter non-certified in the Starkville Fire Department. Under IT, we have request approval of a yearly renewal of Cisco SmartNet from C-Spire for the state contract price of $7,347.20. Under Police Department, we have request permission to purchase from Accurate Tactical Avon Protection 13 C50 respirator kits at the cost of $15,908.75, the lowest of 2 quotes funded by the Homeland Security Grant. And that concludes our agenda items that were on consent.
Thank you, Mayor.
Certainly, I'm happy to do that. Next, we move into announcements and comments, and I would like to do a couple of things. I'm going to call Mr. Kemp up here in just a minute. You can stay up, but you're going to be coming up, so I'll give you. But first, I wanted to announce that this is Black History Month, and I do have a proclamation as such, and I have an event I'll be going to on Saturday to provide that proclamation. But that has been done for the city of Starkville. And then I also wanted to note, and Vice Mayor, this is, if you wish to highlight this at all, I wanted to note the passing of Reverend Tucker, who was the Montpelier pastor, but he was also the president of the NAACP. Right. And so we are most sorry for his loss, and loss to the community. But I did want to note that, and certainly your loss,
very nice of you.
Vice Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor.
Mr. Kemp, now you may come up, and we want to brag on our folks a little bit. So are you going to read the names, or do I need to do that? Have you got names of everybody?
However you would like.
Well, but you've got their names?
I have a photograph too.
Okay, all right, well, I will just leave it to you. So we're going to, Mr. Kemp's going to brag on our folks a little
The
bit.
mayor asked me to give just a quick briefing to the board on the mutual aid work that we've been doing with New Albany Light, Gas, and Water. The mayor approved us to enter into that mutual aid agreement during the ice storm that recently came through. They reached out to us for assistance, and I guess I can advance this. You go to the next slide, Joel. This is our team that went up there. We had 6 individuals. We basically broke into 2 3-man crews. Have a good variety of both seasoned journeyman linemen as well as some younger apprentices, so it's a great opportunity for them to learn as well. We have Ben Davis, we have Josh Lemire, Kurt Ward, Shasta Plunkett, Trey Samuel, and
Ladavius Williams.
sorry,
Ladavius
Ladavius Williams, yeah, Ladavius. So they're broken up into 2 3-man crews. They've been assigned. This is just to give the board a little bit of difference between our system and New Albany's system. New Albany's system is very rural. It extends into 4 different counties, and you can see the line that goes up kind of in the middle there. It goes all the way up to Blue Mountain, the town of Blue Mountain and Blue Mountain College, and that's the system circuit that our team has been working on since last Monday. Every day from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. every evening. When they first arrived, the town of Blue Mountain had no electricity, they had no water, and they had no gas due to a gas pipeline burst. They lost their water wells, and of course the electricity was out. So in a short span of time, they've been able to restore both electricity and water. The town of Blue Mountain also serves as a community hub up there, where they had a warming center at the fire station, as well as a place for folks to gather for supplies, as well as the college. And they've been able to restore power to 1,000 people along that circuit, as well as about 800 students at Blue Mountain College. So I just appreciate the board and their support. You can go, I've showed some photographs. As y'all know, the past week and a half or so we've had every different type of weather imaginable, from snow, ice, very, very cold wind chills, and then of course today we had rain. So they had all the gear necessary. We took 2 bucket trucks up there, the backyard machine. You can go to the next slide. You can see some of the work that they've been encountering. They've been helping restore individual services this week. That was a photograph from today on the far right of our backyard machine up there, helping set new poles, because it has it's a track machine, and of course had the rain gear on today. So just want to compliment them, thank them for all their work, and thank the board for your support in allowing us to do that. Because I always say it's not a matter of if we need support, but when, and we want to be able to go and help those so they'll be able to come back and help us in the future.
Thank you. And those folks should be back Friday, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. The plan right now is they're going to be released around noon on Friday and head back, and I'll be back in our full operations starting next week.
Okay, thank you. It's been 2 weeks, so we appreciate them being up there. Thank you. Thank you so much. And that's all I have. So board comments, anyone? Alderman Moore?
No, ma'am.
Alderman Sistrum?
No, ma'am.
Alderman Skinner?
No, ma'am.
Alderman Brooks?
No, ma'am, thank you.
Alderman Pope?
No, ma'am, thank you.
Vice Mayor?
No, ma'am, thank you.
Alderman
No,
Vaughn?
ma'am, thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, we now come to citizens' comments. Anyone who wishes to speak to us, you have 3 minutes to do so, and we would love to hear from you. Concerns, complaints, compliments, we take those too. Mr. Turner, always nice to see you. You braved the weather.
Yeah. All right, good evening to the mayor and board. My name is Alvin Turner, Ward 7. All right, to the mayor, all right, to the police chief, to the fire chief, to sanitation, and pretty much for the NACP. Dr. Tucker was also my pastor, and he took me as his solid rock, and so that now myself, Reverend Jerry Jefferson, Reverend Willie Earl Thomas, we got to finish what he started. And so I have his wife, Norma, because together we get her through this. Her number is 662-268-8910. Because she's not from here, and any support that we can give her is going to get her through this. Concern is that the people getting frustrated that look like everywhere they turn, road closed. We would like for that to get some, talk to the public of the road closing and all, because they are getting very stressed at every road they come to is closed. Also with the construction that here at Atlanta, at City Hall, on that side of the street where the restaurant is, I have a friend of mine to fall last week, Patty Draffer, with the new construction. She thought it was a sidewalk. She didn't know it was a step. And we need to get a sign said detour until the construction is finished, because we don't want no one to fall and then try to sue the city. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Turner. Anyone else? Anyone else under citizens' comments? All right, seeing none, I will close it as citizens' comments, and we now have a public appearance. So Ms. Andrea Self has brought, I believe, the Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority. It's a mentoring group, is that correct? Youth Leadership Institute. Come right on up, and absolutely you may.
Good evening, Mayor and Board. I'm Andrea Self, and here representing tonight the Starkville chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Is the graduate chapter of our organization here in Starkville, and we have a mentoring group. It is the Youth Leadership Institute, we also known as YLI. So for the next several months, these young ladies are joining us on a monthly basis, and we're teaching leadership skills and getting involved in activities that will enrich them and help them and empower them as young women. And this month we are focusing on the importance of civic leadership. So we wanted to express to them and let them see in action what their elected officials do, and to understand what their job is and what their job is not, because sometimes people think your job is something that it isn't. We had a brief assignment that they all had to do that we went through the other night. Their assignment was to find out what ward they live in, who represents their ward, and to give us a duty of an alderman. And some of them live in the county, so in that case they had to tell me what district they live in and who the supervisor is. And we sort of decided that the duties of a supervisor and an alderman are very similar in ways. So the only thing I would like for them to do, just to give them the practice, if you would allow them to introduce themselves and tell you what school they go to, if that's okay. All right.
We'll be delighted. Well, while they're doing it,
All right.
let's find out.
Yes.
Go ahead and tell me what district you're in or what ward you're in.
I told you, be prepared, because they might ask. Go ahead.
See there?
My name is Carmen Haynes, and
think I'm in Ward 5, but I didn't attend the Zoom meeting.
And what school did you go
Oh,
do you go to?
Partnership Middle School.
Okay, lovely.
Thank you.
Church member.
My name is Mallory Miles. I live in Ward 1 of the county, and I also attend Partnership Middle School.
Okay, now wait, you can't go away. Do you live in the ward, you live in the county, obviously.
Oh, I live in District 1, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, there we go. All right, perfect. Thank you. Okay, be brave. Next one up.
My name is Malia Munger.
What school do you go to?
5th grade,
What school?
Overstreet,
Okay, and what ward do you live in, or what district are you in?
Ward 5.
Ward 5? Okay, wonderful. This is your alderman right here.
I think we, on the call the other night, we called you pork chop. That's fine. But it's
Yes, ma'am.
My name is Zion, and I go to Partnership Middle School, and I'm District 2.
District 2, all right, very good. Thank you.
My name is Zanaya Lee. I go to Partnership, and I'm District 2.
District 2, okay, great. Who are we missing? If Andre is with you, you can do anything.
You got it. Tell them your name.
My name is Emily. I think I'm in Ward 6.
Okay, that's your alderman right there. Vice mayor's your alderman.
Yep, she told us that the other
Okay.
night. And what grade?
5th,
Fifth grade.
All
So
right.
partnership school?
Overstreet Elementary.
Overstreet, I'm so
Yes.
sorry,
Yes,
okay.
Overstreet.
I get those
We got one
confused.
more. If you don't remember your ward or your district, that's okay. Just tell them your name and your school. How about that?
My name is Roger Gates, and I go to Partnership Middle School.
Okay, where do you live, Ryan?
I live in the county.
Okay, and what part of the county?
Do you know what community, what they call your community? You don't know?
Okay, you need to know, because you might need to call 911 sometime.
That's right.
So I was gonna work my way through what district you were in, but that's all right.
Come on. Sierra Drive, okay.
My name is Kaden Cannon, and I go to Armstrong Junior High,
Okay,
Do you know your ward?
District 2.
District 2, I'm sorry.
there you
Good
go.
job.
All right, good deal. Is that
Okay.
everybody?
That's everybody.
Outstanding.
Let me also introduce Ms. Jessica. Ms.
I'm
Jessica
sorry.
is our co-leader, so she helps us keep us all together.
Okay, good
Yes,
deal.
all right.
Well done,
All right.
everyone.
Really quickly, can we come stand right there and I take a picture of
Of
them?
course, you
Okay,
just-
y'all pop around there real fast.
Absolutely. It's a nice rainy night.
Yes.
We're slow here tonight, so you just come right on.
15 minutes, not gonna be over. Still 15 minutes.
Thank you. This is a really big deal for me.
Well, good. I think it's cool. We're delighted. We're delighted to have them.
Thank you.
All right, you gonna post that, Andre?
Of course.
All right.
And I would say part of us, as we leave at 6:30, we have
Quite all right.
reservations at Lost Pizza, so.
That sounds good. Try the spaghetti. It's good. Chicken spaghetti's good. Okay. All right, next we'll move to public hearings. Our first public hearing is on amending the alcohol ordinance. This is not something we will be taking up tonight for a vote of any kind, so I will simply open it as a public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak to this matter, either for or against, now is your opportunity. Either for or against. This is about extending the alcohol sales on Sunday from 11 o'clock back to 10 o'clock, so that it starts at 10 a.m. Anyone wishing to speak to it? Mr. Turner?
All right, good evening once again. When we had the cold beer ordinance back in the day with Mr. Camp, all right, we had a problem of, we had Second Baptist Griffin, and I think that you only can sell that at, the church has to be a certain distance before you can sell, but anyway, all right, we have some people, they get kind of upset when police catch them with an open container. Some of them don't know what that is, but hoping that we can come up with something that will keep everybody safe and won't cause any problem.
All right, thank you, Mr. Turner. Anyone else? Anyone else? For or against? All right, I will close it as a public hearing.
Mayor,
And, yes, ma'am.
just for clarity, and I may have blipped out when you said this, this applies to sales in restaurants, right?
Yes, this is strictly for restaurants to be able to serve starting at 10 when they open their doors, or when most of them open their doors for a
Right.
Sunday brunch.
Right.
So, yes, that's correct. All right, next we have a public hearing consideration. This is for a 21-1911 property located at 12900 Mississippi 182. Our code enforcement folks will come up. This time.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Board of Aldermen. I'm here to present you tonight 21-1911.
Since we're not used to seeing you, remind us of your name.
Yes, my name is Officer Cundy.
Thank you,
I'm
sir.
obviously with Code Enforcement. I'm having technical difficulties. All right, the address I'll be talking about will be 12900 MS 182, Starkville, Mississippi, 39759, parcel number 159J-00-024.00.
And for clarity, this is out in the annex.
Yes,
newly
it's out in the
annexed.
annex,
Okay.
Clayton Village area.
Thank
The tax document showing ownership of Clayton Village Development, LLC. The photographs below were taken from a public view at the city road by myself on the first inspection on December 31st, 2025 at approximately 15:32. These are the photos that I took from the right-of-way. As you can see, structure looks pretty bad. The notice of violation was mailed to the property owner on December 31st. I received a phone call from the property owner on January 6th. Mr. Pete Hodo called to tell me that he was living in Birmingham, Alabama, and he was not aware of the situation, but he would get it mitigated. So I sent the public hearing notice 10 days later. The property owner, I just sent a certified mail to the property owner, and we did, also I posted it, once I mailed it, I posted it on the property and on the City Hall, Starkville City Hall window. An administrative inspection warrant was signed by Judge Brian Kelly on January 15th. The administrative inspection warrant was executed by myself, Lieutenant Crothers, Sergeant Gillen, Officer Harvey, and Building Official McMullen on January 16, 2026, approximately 08:40 hours. The photographs taken of the interior, exterior, and of the exterior of the building, of the structure. As you can see, it's in pretty rough shape. The floor was soft, uneven throughout the structure. The roof was obviously sagging in the middle. As you look at the entrance of the structure, it was leaning to the right. The exterior of the structure was compromised by tree growth. Debris from the rest of the structure was really dilapidated and fell within the woods. Piles of material broken and damaged due to improper maintenance over time. On February 2nd, 2026, I did a reinspection of the property. There was no change from what I could tell from the right-of-way. At 11:49 hours, and these are the pictures that I took to prove there was no change. Do I have any questions?
Any questions of Officer Coon? Okay. Is the owner with us? Do we know? Is the owner here? Mr. Hodo, is that right?
Yes, Mr. P. Hodo.
Yeah, Mr. Hodo. Okay, I see no one in the audience. Without any questions, no comments at this point in time, I'll open it as a public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak to this matter? This is a matter of determining that this location, this building, quasi-building, is in such a state of uncleanliness as to be a menace to the public health, safety, and welfare of the community, such that cleanup of the property should occur. So, seeing none, I'll close it as a public hearing. Do I have a motion from the board?
Make a motion to move approval.
Move approval of finding it that it is
Yes.
in such a state? Okay.
1911, yes.
And I have a motion, second, what did I hear second? Alderman Brooks, thank you, sir. All right, any further discussion? It clearly looks as though it is not something that can be burned. I mean, I have had that conversation with the fire department in the sense that it's got all the trees around it and it's mostly dilapidated anyway, so it would not provide them any kind of training value. So it's going to be more a matter of the street department exercising their ability to take it down and then clean up that property. So that's kind of where we're going to be. So, all right, without any further discussion, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. All right, second public hearing for 21-1911. All right, next one up.
Good evening, Mayor, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Board of Aldermen. I'm here to present a 21-1911 for 513 Vine Street. Get this to work. For 513 Vine Street, Starkville, Mississippi, 39759. Parcel number 102A-00-260.00. The property link shows Daniel Allen as the owner. On the first inspection, the pictures were taken from the city right-of-way on December 12th, 2025. And here you can see some rotted siding along with some soffits missing and a hole in the siding, another hole in the siding there. The notice of violation was sent on December 18th, 2025, and then the owner, Daniel Allen, did contact me after receiving the notice and stated he would try and fix it. The public hearing notice was mailed to the property owner on January 16th and posted on the property on the 16th as well, and posted on the City Hall window. The administrative warrant was signed by Judge Brian Kelly on January 15th, 2026, and executed on January 16th, 2026 by myself, Officer Cundy, Lieutenant Carruthers, Sergeant Gillen, and Building Official McMullen. The warrant was for the interior and exterior of the home. You can clearly see from the note of violation to the warrant that no change was made with the rotten siding and the missing soffit. And there's a bowing on the south side of the wall. Here's a closer look at that rotted siding and that hole in the siding and missing soffits, as well as the bowing out on the south part of the wall and significant cracking on the south part of the wall as well. At the entrance of the home, there is loose and cracked flooring, and in the bathroom as well, there is cracked and loose flooring as well. At the entrance of that bathroom, there's damaged floor, and in the living room, there is a hole in the wall, or in the floor. And then the first bedroom on the right, there's a hole in the wall along with significant cracking in the corner of the building. And back in the bathroom, there was also separation of the floor and the wall there. In another room, we have missing drywall, exposed electrical, and cracked drywall as well, and missing window pane in the window there. And to conclude the warrant, underneath the house, there's disconnected and loose plumbing that was concerned there. On February 2nd, a reinspection of the outside of the home from the roadway. I took pictures, and there appeared to be no change, with still rotted siding, hole in the siding. And so, is there any questions for me?
Any questions of Officer Harvey at this point? None. Okay. Is the owner in the room?
I am.
Yes, sir. You gonna be brave enough to come forward and tell us why you let that property get to that condition?
It is a little rough. A lot of the damage you saw was the tenants. I got my phone in my pocket. I can show you where they moved in. It was remodeled, looked brand new. No holes in the walls, no holes in the floors. It's a rough bunch in there, and they have destroyed that inside of the house. No questions. I talked to the officer. He did send me a letter. I called him. I asked him what it was for. I've never gotten one. I've owned property in Starkville for 25 years. I've been a manager here for 20 plus years. He said, oh, it's just a letter we send out. Just need to clean up around the house and just make it look a little better. I'm like, okay. So I did. I went over, talked to my tenants. I've been asked to move so I could remodel it, and they can't find anywhere. Starkville's hard to find. It's rent's high, and I know that. So I've been letting them. I shouldn't have, but I did. Anyway, the house is in rough shape. It needs remodeled. I hadn't been over to work on it because the tenants are. After this come up, I said, look, y'all done it. You done tore it up. You trashed it up. Now you have to leave. So they were supposed to be out by the 1st. Talked to them. They swear to me that they've got something by the 15th. I hadn't filed eviction on them, trying to give them a little time. We're gonna go in and pull apart the house and see how bad it is. If it's remodelable, we're gonna completely remodel it as soon as they're out. If it's not, we're gonna tear it down. And that's where we're at. Yeah, I did let it get a little further than it should have gotten, but on the outside, the inside's 100% tenant damage. Now, you being a landlord, I know you've seen it before. They can destroy one in a week.
I don't believe I've ever had that quite level of destruction, but let me ask you this. How long have they been in there?
About 2 years.
Okay.
And it's just been little by little.
Well, this is not the first time that we've had this discussion with you before, because I know that Mr. McMullen has been to that property on Vine Street before, and I believe he's been in touch with you before. Is that accurate, Mr. McMullen?
The previous code
Okay. So,
it's been, I hadn't had any kind of code enforcement letter in years.
I understand, but before, I didn't say how long before, but before, so this is not the first, this is not your first rodeo with us on this.
Oh, I've never been to this. I've never been to a hearing.
I understand you haven't been to this situation, but this is not the first time you've heard from us about a property, that's what I'm saying. And I guess I'm as appalled as anything, is that those tenants are living in that condition and have been there only 2 years. As far as I'm concerned, that is, it may very well be that they destroyed it, but it's still your property, and it's still your obligation to give them a habitable environment, or else get rid of them and create a habitable environment.
It is, and that's what I'm doing now.
Okay, and to my knowledge, you haven't come up to the building department to take out any kind of permit for construction or building or anything?
Hadn't done anything till they're out.
Okay.
When they supposed to have been out the first.
Okay, and how long do you think it will take you to get it?
Oh, we're gonna start immediately. As soon as
Okay.
they're out the door, we'll start pulling it apart and seeing how bad the damage is. Give me 3 months.
Okay, and my other point to you, I believe, is that you're not on our rental registry.
I should be.
Okay, all right, well, I was thinking that I had try to get you looked up and didn't find you on our rental registry. So if you would make sure that you are, please, that
I
would be
will.
great. So how long do you think you need to,
How do I do that?
the building department?
Oh, just go to the building department
Yes.
and put it on, okay.
So, what was I gonna ask? Oh, how long do you think you will need to get this, piece of property turned around?
If they're out, when they say they're out the 15th, they're not out the 15th, I'm gonna have to file eviction. However long it takes. With the courts, I don't know how backed up y'all are right now, or they are. I haven't found a file eviction, I don't know.
About a
how many
month or so.
years. Yeah, so as soon as they're out, we're gonna start. If we see that it's, not worth repairing, we'll have it pulled down immediately.
Okay.
If the city wants
Get a demo
to
permit,
help
or else
with that.
get the fire, okay, fire department engaged in that,
But
okay.
yeah, we're gonna start, we would have done started, I mean, he said we hadn't done anything, we hadn't done anything. I don't wanna go in there and start tearing stuff apart and people there, they pulled apart enough already. But I said, I got my phone in my pocket, I can show you what they've done and what I rented them and what I got. And I understand your point is you gotta keep fixing them and put them out. And then you get that, please don't, I don't have anywhere to go. So then you're in that situation. And
Okay,
anyway.
let me see, I've taken the floor here, so let me
Yeah.
see if there are any board members that wish to inquire any further about this particular piece of property. Anyone? Okay. How long do you think, 6 months?
Oh, yeah, plenty.
Okay.
Yeah.
Board has
As soon
been
as they're out-
inclined to
as soon as they're
give
out,
3
we're gonna
months
start.
on some occasions and 6 months on others, so I don't know what the
Yeah.
board's pleasure is, but, I will,
Yeah,
okay, all right,
I'm good with
if
it.
you have nothing else, I still need to open it as a public hearing, so let me do that, and then we'll move to what the board wants to do while they're all considering that, so if you would, okay, you can step back,
Okay,
thank you.
thank
All right, I'll open it as a public hearing, this is a determination in, about 513 Vine Street as to its condition and whether or not it's in such a state of uncleanliness as to be a menace to the public health, safety, and welfare of the community, such that cleanup of the property should occur. Anyone wishing to speak to this matter, now would be your opportunity. Anyone? Seeing none, I will close it as a public hearing. Do I have a motion from the board? Alderman Sistrum.
I would move that we declare that it meets the standards for, moving forward under 21-1911. Give him 3 months to make a determination about whether it can be remodeled, and if it can be, give him an additional 3 months to do the remodeling.
Okay, so,
Would that be 3 months after I get them out? 'Cause I don't know how long it's gonna take.
To make a determination,
I don't want to tear into it until they're out.
well, I heard it sounded like it was gonna take probably about 6 weeks or so to get them out. That would give you 6 weeks or so to get in there and make a determination. I think you're,
That's fine. If I can get 6 weeks and 6 weeks, I'm fine with that.
and then
But I
if
don't
you,
want the courts to drag my whole 3 months out, and then I'm standing here.
if you find that you're running into difficulty with the courts, and I think 6 weeks is probably gonna be sufficient, but if not, let us know.
all right, so I have a motion that would be 3 months for the determination of either it being a fire training activity or, a rehab, and then, 3 months for the cleanup to either burn it, tear it down, or to get it remodeled. Okay, all right, that's accurate, Alderman Sistrum, that accurately represents? All right, do I have a second from Alderman Poco? Any further discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. And if there's any lack of clarity on that, you're welcome to, talk to our building inspector or, okay, all right.
Y'all have a good night.
We'll be back in touch. Thank you. All right, and that takes us to the claims docket. Do I have a motion?
Do we have a UDC?
Oh, I'm sorry. They all blended together, my bad. Dang,
don't
you
want-
thought you were gonna get out of it, didn't you?
Don't want to deprive them.
All right, first public hearing on amending the Unified Development Code. I'm so sorry. Please, take it away.
So this is the 13th revision of the UDC since its adoption in December of 2019. And on this revision, there are 17 proposed changes. They can be put into groupings of corrective, updating existing requirements, updating the technical codes, and new requirements. So the corrective items are generally pretty minor. For example, in the rezoning section, there was a misplaced tab that messed up the numbering system, so it's just correcting that. There was also some calculations that worked out incorrectly for the apartment density calculations, very small amount, 78 square feet, but for a 10-acre site, it kind of adds up. It is just mainly small stuff like that. The next grouping is updating existing requirements, stuff like adding site plan review for special exceptions at the city planner discretion, because not all special exceptions trigger site plan review automatically. This is like, in certain cases, we might need to see how it fits into the criteria for the exception. And then we're also doing some administrative adjustments to allow for the city engineer to decrease the frontage requirements for additional access points by up to 15%. That's an effort to, not have variances of 2 feet over 150 feet, to give him a little leeway in that. And then also for the thresholds on phase projects. So if somebody comes in here with a building permit, they're not technically triggering a full site plan review, but we know there's additional phases coming. It gives staff a little leeway to kind of work with them and postpone some of the requirements for later. And then the last one on this list is overhead structures for outdoor dining. We already have a reduced setback for overhead structures over pump islands at gas stations. This will be for outdoor eating areas. And the best example of this would be Sonic. Having their canopies meet the entire building setback doesn't really fit their model. So it's just a little corrective action on that. I guess the big update is going to be updating the technical codes to the new 2024 version, with the exception of the 23 National Electric Code. And then also adding or updating the deletions, additions, and modifications of the codes. That's the stuff that's going to be added or taken away from the code. And I know Steen and the fire marshal have spent a lot of time going through that and sort of flushing out all these issues. And I know he's been in touch with a lot of the contractors, getting their opinion on it. And I think everything's been going pretty good so far.
Okay, who we got back there? Thank you.
And now we get to the grouping of new requirements. So in here we have adding requirements for food trucks connected to utilities. So this is if a food truck is located on a property that already has a business, how they connect to the utilities of that business, and then also preventing them from adding a new utility connection specifically for the food truck. Because we want to encourage like brick and mortar buildings overall as a general goal and a general rule, but we would allow those, generators and connecting to the building. It's just not allowing them to move into a vacant site and basically become a business. And then also adding a new part on the mini storage, some requirements for outdoor storage. That question's come up several times, and so this is just how to mitigate any impacts to that, mainly visual. Having any storage outside the mini storage has to be in the rear of the property, not in the front yard, screened from view.
Guys, you get once, so we're gonna take it here the next time around, okay? Yes, ma'am, thank you. Go ahead.
And then another one of the new sections, this is the architectural variety standards. This is an attempt to sort of prevent the same cookie cutter house being put up all the way down a street in a subdivision. Think Mallory Lane over on the west side of town, where the exact same house, didn't even change the orientation, the color, it's just the same house all the way down. And so the way we're approaching that is, as you can see in this graphic, you have a subject lot, so the two houses on either side cannot be the same as the subject lot. The house directly across the street and the two houses on either side of it cannot be the same. And the way that they have to differ is through at least 3 distinct design features. The building footprint, the massing, roof form, the front porch size, configuration, exterior finishes, color schemes, garage orientation, design, window arrangement, and architectural details. So the contractor or the builder has some options there in how he wants to meet this requirement. So that way, if they want all the houses to be white, that's fine, but all the houses need to look different, in other ways other than just being white.
That picture on the left's pretty cool. You could recommend that to them.
That's ChatGPT. It worked really well in this case.
Nice.
And then the last thing is updating the rental housing code. This is updating the heating requirements that already currently exist and adding the cooling requirements. And these requirements also mimic the proposed update to the 2024 maintenance code. So it's just putting minimum standards to where it triggers, to where the landlord would have to provide something extra if you hit these thresholds.
Okay, we had talked about, the 80 degrees Fahrenheit, but we also talked about giving, I'm speaking as a landlord, so y'all forgive me, giving a period of time in which you can get get it taken care of, 24 hours, whatever, 48 hours, whatever.
We addressed that in the part of the property maintenance code.
Okay, all right, so I knew we talked about it, you said it was somewhere, but since I didn't see it there, I thought I'd clarify that.
More spelled out in the property maintenance code.
Okay.
addition,
Yeah, the maintenance code, or all the technical codes cover this stuff too, so this is just saying it specifically in the rental thing, and then you can
Okay.
refer back to the maintenance.
Okay, all right, well, I'm really pleased that we put the cooling piece in there.
So I think it's, yeah,
that's
very good
great.
idea.
Yeah, absolutely. Any questions of Mr. Haviland? Anyone?
I've got to
Alderman
ask
Brooks,
something.
Of course.
I went through these, and all of them make sense, and looked like you did some good work on it. Just a question about that, or is requested by the city planner on the site plan review?
Yes.
Just an example, I'm just, put you on the spot.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of something. I mean, not every special exception, like for, you know, certain type of use in a location is necessarily going to trigger the site plan review, but they might be proposing something unique for them, like a drive-through or something, that might need some input from other departments.
Okay.
So that way we can kind of at least trigger them through like a pre-app. It's not usually an official review, it's just go through the process. To make sure fire doesn't have an issue with it, that utilities is fine, engineering's fine. It's just just so we can make sure we cover the bases of the criteria of the approval.
And that's if it doesn't necessarily meet the site plan review.
Correct,
Yeah,
correct.
okay. And then the other one, I noticed you're gonna have the surveyors identified.
We require it because it's written in there, you know, for the tree protection stuff. It's just on their little list in the front part in section 3 where it spells out exactly what goes on the plan. It doesn't have that one line.
Okay.
So it's only come up like twice where people push back, but then we point to the other section saying it's required. So this just puts it in 2 places.
Sounds good. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. All right, this will be our first public hearing on this for amending the Unified Development Code. We will not be taking action on it tonight. We'll be taking action on it, potentially taking action on it at the next board meeting. So I'm opening this public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak to the matter or any of the things that were reflected on the board as changes, now would be the time, either for or against. All right, seeing none, I'll close it as a public hearing, and we will, thank you very much, Mr. Havlin. We will now appropriately move to the claims docket. So, do I have a motion?
Move approval.
Thank you, Alderman Pope. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Alderman Skinner. Thank you so much. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed?
Nay.
Nay.
All right, motion carries. And that takes us to the closed determination session. We will go into a closed, I need a motion to go into a closed determination session to determine the need for an executive session.
Move approval.
Thank you, Alderman Vaughn. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Alderman Brooks. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries. If you would, please clear the room, and we will executive session. And you want to wait till after I call for the work session?
No.
Vice Mayor is asked to be recognized.
Mayor, I just want to ask you, just as a procedural matter, does this board have a schedule, a planned meeting before 5:30 p.m. on February 17, 2026?
We are entertaining the idea of having a concurrent meeting with Board of Supervisors.
The reason I asked that question, Mayor, for the public and while the press is here, I want to ensure that there's ample and sufficient public notice if there's going to be a meeting of this mayor and board before 5:30 p.m. on the 17th of February 2026. And it is my opinion that if we're going to meet, and we know that we're going to meet prior to 5:30 p.m. on the 17th of February 2026, I am very respectfully asking our honorable mayor, please ma'am, to give notice to the public and to the press as expeditiously as possible, and the notice should also include the subject matter or matters of any meeting that this mayor and board may have prior to 5:30 on the 17th of February 2026, which is our next scheduled meeting. So if there's going to be a meeting before then, I'm just asking, and professionally and honorably asking our honorable mayor to please give that announcement as expeditious as possible for the reason of informing the public and of the date and time and place of that meeting, if any, and of the subject matter or matters, if any, if we're going to meet. So, Mayor, I yield the floor. Thank you.
Yes, Vice Mayor, and as we are all well aware, any special call meeting will require all of those things to be done, and we certainly will do so once it's solidified. So, let me read my calling of a work session. In accordance with the notice as required under Mississippi Code annotated 254113, the board will have a work session on Friday the 13th of February 2026 at 11 a.m. That meeting will be held at City Hall on the second floor conference room located at 110 West Main Street. Notice should be provided of this work session within 1 hour of this meeting by posting such notice at City Hall. The notice for the work session should be made a part of the minutes of the board meeting. The work session will be an open public meeting for the city of Starkville, and the public and press are invited to attend. Do I have a motion to recess, please?
Move approval.
Thank you, Alderman Vaughn. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Alderman Brooks. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, we are in recess. Thank you, everyone.